Welcome you all once again. In the last class, I discussed the concept of measures of central tendency and described how we can compute one of the measures of central tendency, that is mean. Today, I will discuss the concept of median and its computation. Median is the middle value in the data set. This is one data value in the whole data set that divides the complete data set into two parts in such a way that 50% cases lie below it in the data distribution and 50% cases lie above it. So median is basically a positional measure. If we arrange whole data set in ascending or descending order, then median is the middle position in the data set, and if the data is in ascending order and we have located the middle position, then naturally 50% data will be below that value and 50% data will be above that. Now let us see this data set. This 12, 5, 9, I have collected information from 11 participants, say 11 individuals, and these are the scores. If we wish to compute median, the first step is to arrange this in ascending or descending order. Generally, we do it in ascending order. So now we have arranged the data from lowest to highest. And the total number of observation in this case is 11, which is an odd number. The computation of median will require computing the middle position in this data set, and that will be done by this formula n plus 1 by 2, and in this case it will be 11 plus 1 divided by 2, that is 6. It does not mean that the median of this data set is 6. This 6 is the sixth value, the sixth position in the data set. Therefore, median is called positional measure. So, this is the first position, second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position, sixth position. So, let us highlight this. So, this is the median. This is sixth position data, and now count, there are 5 data sets, 3, 4, 5, 6, these which are lower than this median value, so lying below this in the distribution, and there are 5 values above this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are lying above this point in the data distribution. In this condition, when the number of data sets in any raw data is odd, then n plus 1 by 2th will always be a whole number, and then in that condition we do not need any other computation, but that whole number will tell the position or the location of the median. So at that location, if data is arranged in ascending order, the median will be lying. But if n plus 1 by 2 comes in fraction, in decimal, and this will happen when, suppose I am deleting this 19, and then in that condition n will become 10. So if I use this formula n plus 1 by 2, so 10 plus 1 by 2 will be 5.5. Now it is not a whole number. 5.5 is in fraction. So if the position will be always a whole number, it will be fifth position, sixth position, seventh position, like this. So when the number of observation is even, then if we will use this formula, then we will come at a position which will be in fraction. In this condition, what we do, that we take the we take the whole number of this, so 5 is the whole number. We take the fifth value and then the next value, that is the sixth value. So fifth value is in this condition will be 9. Let us highlight in different color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the fifth value and this is the sixth value. Median is lying somewhere in between these two values. So that value really does not exist. So I am creating just one space for that value. So what we will do, that we have a score 9 and we have one score 12. We will take the mean of these two. So 9 plus 12, this is the sixth value, 9 is the fifth value, divided by 2. I have made some error in writing the formula. 9 plus 12 divided by 2. So this is one value which is not in the data set, but we can assume that this is in the data set. I am placing it here, 10.5. So 10.5 is the median in this condition. And now you see that there are 5 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values which are below this value 10.5, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values above it. So when the n plus 1 by 2th value in raw data condition is not a whole number, and when it will come, when the number of observations will be even. So in that condition, we will take the position of the whole number of that fraction. So 5.5 is the value here. So take fifth position and sixth position. Otherwise, simply we can write that this is n by 2 with plus 1 value. So we will have to compute two values. One value will be, I am copying it from here. One value will be n by 2th value, and other value will be the next value that is written in this form. N by 2th plus 1 means plus next. So in this condition n is 10. So n by 2th value is fifth value, and n by 2th plus 1 is the sixth value, and then median will be the mean of these two. So n plus 2th value, n by 2th value plus n by 2th plus 1, that is the next value. So fifth value, that is 9, and the sixth value, that is 12, divided by 2, the mean. This will be the median. So again I am concluding that median is a positional measure, and if we arrange the data in ascending order, then that median will be a value in the data set which will be in the middle position, and 50% cases will be lying below that value and 50% cases will be lying above it. Now let us see how to compute median in case of group data. I have forgotten to change this. This is group data. So computation of median with group data, that is data arranged in class intervals. So this is one example. I am trying to make the fonts little larger so that you can easily see it. So making it bold, taking other cells also. So the same thing will apply for the whole cell, I hope. And let us make it of size 18. I think this will be visible. So these are the data values. This is the class interval 0 to 4. The frequency is 8. So for computing median, the first thing that is required is computation of the cumulative frequency, CF. And cumulative frequency is computed by adding the frequency. So the first, there is nothing to add. So the first CF is 8. Now the second CF will be 8 plus 17. So we can write this. Let us try to write this in formula. This plus this 25. Let us try whether it is working or not. 25 plus, no, it is not working. So 25, then we will add 15. 25 plus 15 will be 40. Then we will add 27. It will be 67. Then 67 plus 18 will be 85. And then this will be 97. How 97? 85 plus 12, 97. Then 107, how it is coming? 97 plus 10, 107. And then this is the last one. When we will add 9, it will be 116. And we will also need to compute the sum of the frequencies. So this will give the value n. So n is 116, and the last CF cumulative frequency value should be equal to the sum of the frequencies. If it is not coming equal, then we have made some error while computing the cumulative frequency. So in group data, if we have to compute median, we will need this value which is called cumulative frequency. Now I have written this formula that we will use. I am dragging it little lower so that you can easily see the formula and I will not have to scroll back and forth. So median is the L means the exact lower limit plus n by 2, and n is the sum of frequency, minus CF, and this CF is, I will explain later. Let us do the computation. So first thing that we need is the n by 2 value, which is equal to 116 divided by 2, and which will be equal to 58. So this is suggesting that 58th value, there are 116 data values in this data set. The 50th value, if we will arrange the data set in ascending order, then 50th value will be the median. But we cannot exactly know because there are several data values in one interval. 8 data values are here in this 0 to 4. 17 values are here in 5 to 9, and up to 9 there are 25 data values. So we will have to locate the class in which the 58th data value will. So here only 25th data is coming, here 40th data is there, here there are the 67th data starting from 41st to 67th. So the 50th data will be in this data range, that is 15 to 19. So we have located the median class and we can write this as median class. What does it mean? It means that median is located in this class interval. Why and how we have done this? Because we have computed the location of the median in total 116 data. The median is likely to be located at the 58th position, and 58th position data is lying in the interval 15 to 19. Now all these values will make sense when we have located the median class. So L is the exact lower limit of the median class. So 15 is the lower limit, but you see that there is a difference of 1. 10 to 14, then after a gap of 1, we are starting from 15. So to get the exact lower limit, what we do, that we divide this difference of 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 will be 0.5. We subtract 0.5 from the lower limit to get exact lower limit. And if we are interested in exact upper limit, then we will have to add 0.5. So 19.5 will be the exact upper limit of this class, and 14.5 will be the exact lower limit. How we have obtained this? By subtracting 0.5 from the lower limit. So let us write all the values required in this formula. This formula, L is equal to, in this case, 15 minus 0.5. I am writing 15 minus 0.5 is equal to 14.5. So the exact lower limit is 14.5. Now n by 2 we have already calculated, it is 58. Now what is Fm? I have written M to remind us that this is the frequency of the M means median class. So this is the median class highlighted in light blue. So this column is frequency. So 27. So I will write Fm is equal to 27, the frequency of the median class. Now CF, that is the cumulative frequency, and this cumulative frequency is the cumulative frequency preceding the median class. And when I am saying preceding means the class which is lower than this. So 15 to 19 is the median class and 10 to 14 is a lower range of data set. Suppose if the data is arranged in reversed order, we are starting from here 35 to 39, then here the preceding will change. It will be below this. So don't consider preceding as above the median class or below the median class. Preceding means that class which is having a class interval range lower than the median class. So the cumulative frequency preceding this class, that is the class 10 to 14, is 40. So we will write this value 40. Now the last thing that we need for this computation is I, and as you know from the previous class, I is the size of the class, and we judge by vertically seeing the difference 0, 5, 10, 15, 15 plus 5, 20, 20 plus 5, 25. So size of the class is 5. Now we have all the values required for this computation. So let us compute median. Median is equal to, I am writing it here so it will be little bolder and more visible. Median is equal to, we will write 14.5, where it is coming L, the exact lower limit, 14.5 plus n by 2 is 58 and minus CF 40. So I am doing the computation directly here. N by 2 is 58 and CF is 40. So 58 minus 40 is 18. So I am putting a bracket here, 18, and this will be divided by the frequency of the model class, and frequency of the model class is 27, and then we will multiply it by the size of the class 5. Now I am doing each computation separately. So let us do what is the value of 18 by 27. So write it here, 18 by 27. It is 0.67. And when we will multiply by 5, so we can write this same thing as, let us multiply. So 0.67 into 5. So this is 3.33. So we can write that median is equal to 14.55 plus this value has come 18 by 27 into 5, 3.33. 3.33. And this will be equal to 14.55 plus 3.33 is 17.8, and when rounded off it is 17.9. So in this example median is 17.9. I am highlighting this so that you can remember this is the computed median value. I am just repeating the whole process. So if we have to compute median, the first thing we need to do is to calculate cumulative frequency. The first cumulative frequency will be the frequency itself because there is no previous frequency to cumulate. So we will write first frequency as it is 8. Now we have to cumulate 17, that is add 17 in it. So 8 plus 17 is 25. 25 plus 15 is 40. 40 plus 27 is 67. 67 plus 18 is 85. 85 plus 12, 97. 97 plus 10, 107. 107 plus 9, 116. So in this way we will compute the cumulative frequency, and the last CF and the total number of observation, that is n, should be equal. And then in this formula we will compute all the values needed. So n by 2 is the first thing to be calculated, and this will tell the location of the median value. So the 58th value lies in this class 15 to 19 because from 41st value to 67th value is in this class, and therefore it is definite that 58th value will also be lying in this class. So we have located this as median class, and when median class has been located we can get all other things required. L is the exact lower limit of the median class. In this case it is 14.5. CF is the cumulative frequency preceding the median class. So this is the CF. Let us change the font color. So this is the CF. We have written it as 40. And then FM is the frequency of the median class. It is 27. And I is the size of the class, and when we will put all these values in this we will get median. So in next class I will provide you opportunity to ask any questions related to this. So this is the brief steps involved in computation of median in raw data as well as in group data. Now quartile is another positional measure. Median is one positional measure, quartile is another positional measure, decile, percentile. There are several positional measures, and taken together all such positional measures are called quantiles. But in your syllabus, you also need to learn quartile for computing quartile deviation. So quartile as such is not in the syllabus, but when you will learn the measures of variation, and one of the measures of variation is called quartile deviation or interquartile, semi-interquartile range, then that will be based on computation of the quartile. Since the computation of positional measures follow the same logic, same method, so it will be easier for you to learn quartile in continuation with median. So I am going now to discuss what is quartile and how we compute this in group data. As you know, as median divides the whole data in two equal parts, so for making the data in two equal parts, we need only one cut, that is one value. So median is one single value. But When we are interested in dividing the whole data set in four equal parts of 25% each, you can see this is the first 25%, then the next. And remember that data are arranged in some order, as increasing order. So this is the lowest 25%, then next 25%, then next 25%, then next 25%, and taken together, this is the whole 100% data. So when we have to divide the whole data set into four equal parts, we will need to calculate what is called quartile. And for dividing the whole data set in four parts, we will need three cuts, three values. So the first value is called Q1 and it is also called the first quartile. So there are 25% cases below this value in the distribution. Here I have written, you can read it. Now the second value is Q2. Look, below Q2 there are 25 plus 25 50%, and above it there are 25 plus 25 50%. So basically the second quartile is the median itself. So when we do computation of quartiles, generally we calculate Q1 and Q3. So Q1 is a value below which there are 25% cases and above which there are 75% cases. And Q3 is the third quartile, and we can see that there are 25% cases above this and 75% cases below it. So I have made a typographical error here. You just read it 75% since it is taken from the slide. I am not able to edit it. Okay. So the third quartile is the value in the distribution above which 25% cases are there and below which 75% cases lie. Now let us come to the computation of the quartile. Now see the formula and compare it with the formula of the median. I am pasting this slide there itself so that you can do the comparison. Let us paste it here for a while, then I will remove. So you just compare. This is L plus N by 2. Here only difference is that we are using N by 4. Why N by 4? Because first quartile is the value below which 25% cases are lying. So if we will divide N by 4, it will come to be the 25%. So rather than using N by 2, we are just modifying this median formula. We are using N by 4. And the other values will have same meaning. So N by 4 will help us to locate the first quartile class. And then CF will be the cumulative frequency value preceding this first quartile class. FQ1, I have not written FM. Just to help you to remember, FQ1 is the frequency of the Q1 class and I is the size of the class interval. So there is a fair similarity. Now 3n by 4. Why? Because 75% cases are lying below Q3. So 3n by 4, 3 by 4 is 75%. So we will locate the Q3 class by this value 3n by 4 and then all values are having the same meaning. L is the exact lower limit of the third quartile. CF is the cumulative frequency preceding the third quartile class and FQ3 is the frequency of the Q3 class and I is the size of the class. So if you remember this formula, we have to replace n by 2 by n by 4 in case of first quartile and by 3n by 4 in case of third quartile. We can also use the n into 0.25 because 1 by 4 is 0.25 and 3 by 4 is 0.75. So we can also use n into 0.75. This will be the same. But that depends on you, how you feel comfortable in doing computation. Whether it is dividing n by 4 is easier for you or multiplying n by 0.25 or 0.75 is easier. So I am removing this slide. So quartile is also a positional measure and this provides the positions of the data values so that we can know that how much in terms of percentage, 25% cases will lie below Q1, the first quartile, 50% cases will lie below Q2, and 75% cases will lie below Q3. So this is the quartile. Now let us do the actual computation. Again, I am increasing the font size, making it bold, and font size little larger so that you can easily see. So again, for this, we will need to compute this CF, and I am just copying the values of CF from here so that I do not need to write much because we have already, so we will write CF and this is the value of CF. Oh, I have made some error. I think I have not copied it. Okay. So come to this quartile sheet, paste it. Make this color automatic. Remove the fill so it will not create any confusion. Now let us compute the Q1, the first quartile. So for Q1, what we will need? We will need first to compute n by 4. So for computing n, we need to sum all the frequencies. So sum all the frequencies, n is 116. So n by 4 is equal to 116 by 4. And 116 by 4 is 29. So the position of the Q1 is that the 29th value, data value will tell the position of the Q1. So that value will be the Q1 value. Now we will locate the Q1 class. So 29th data is not lying here because only 25 data sets are coming here. Now in 40, so starting from 26th data value, 27, 28 and 48, all these data values are lying in the class interval 10 to 14. So we will highlight this. Let us highlight in a color. So this is the Q1 class. We can mention it Q1 class interval. And now based on this, we can compute all the needed values. So what we will need? We have computed n by 4. Now we need L. L is the exact lower limit of this class. So L will be L is equal to 10 minus 0.5 is equal to 9.5. So L is 9.5, exact lower limit. Now we have already n by 4 and L. We need FQ1. FQ1 is the frequency of the Q1 class. So 15 is, let us highlight this font in different color. So 15 is the FQ1 value. So FQ1 is equal to 15. Now we need another value, cumulative frequency. And what is the cumulative frequency? It is the value preceding the Q1 class. So 25 is the cumulative frequency preceding this Q1 class. So CF is equal to 25. Now N by 4 is 29, L is 9.5, FQ1 is 15. What else we need? We need the size of the class, and size of the class we already know is 5. Now let us put all these values. So N by 4 minus CF, N by 4 is 29 and CF is 25. So we will write Q1 is equal to lower limit, that is 9.5 plus N by 4, that is 29, minus CF 25. I have used wrong bracket. Let us use. So N by 4 is 29 and CF is 25, and this will be divided by FQ1, and FQ1 is 15. It is coming from here. So 15. Now we will close the larger bracket, and this will be multiplied by size of the class 5. So 29 minus 25 is 4, and 4 by 15, let us do the computation. So 4 by 15 is equal to 0.27, and now we have obtained this 29 minus 25, 4 by 15 is 0.27, and now we will multiply this by 5. So 0.27 into 5. This value is 1.33, and then we will add this in the lower limit. So now again writing Q1 is equal to 5 plus 1.33, and if we'll let us do it by Excel. So 9.55 plus 1.33 is equal to 10.9. So the first quartile, we can write that Q1 is equal to 10.9, and this is the first quartile. Let us repeat how we have done. So first thing will be required, that we need to compute n by 4. This is the Q1. So n by 4, and then after n by 4 we will locate the first quartile class. This is the first quartile class, and based on this we will take the exact lower limit, then the frequency of the Q1 class, that is FQ1 15, which is required in this formula. Then cumulative frequency preceding this class 25, which is required in this formula. And then size of the class interval. So what is the difference? 5, 10, 15, 20, 5. So these are the value, and when we will put, we will get Q1. Now similarly we can do the computation of Q3. For Q3, first thing will be required is 3n by 4. So we can write 3n by 4. Let us write capital 3n by 4, which is basically equal to 0.75 into n. So this is the n, 116 into 0.75. This is 87. So 3n by 4 is 87. But you can do it by multiplying 116 by 3 and then dividing the whole by 4 also. But this is 87. Now, what this value is telling? This is telling the position of the third quartile. If the data is arranged in an order, then the 87th data value is likely to be the third quartile data value. So up to here we are having only 40th data value, up to here we are having 67th data value, up to here we are having 85th, but we are interested in the 87th because the 87th data value will consist the third quartile value. So in 97, so in this class, starting from 86 to 97th values are lying in this class. So we can label this class, let us set it in a different color. So this is the third quartile class. For the time being, I am removing this to this position, so you have this, and we can write this as Q3 class. Once we have located the Q3 class, you all now know very well that we need to compute the same thing as we have done for median or first quartile. So we will need, the first thing is the exact lower limit. Exact lower limit is 25 minus 0.5. So it is 24.5 exact lower limit. Then another thing we will require is FQ3. FQ3 means the frequency of the third quartile class interval. So 12. FQ3 is equal to 12. And then we need the CF. CF is the cumulative frequency preceding the third quartile class in this. So 85 is the value needed for this. And then one thing more, that is I, and I is the size of the class 5. So I am leaving this for your computation. If you will put all these values in this formula, you will get the value that is called third quartile. And I will discuss in detail in another class that you have to study. And based on these two values, that is Q3 and Q1, we can compute another statistics that is called quartile deviation. And quartile deviation is basically Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. So I taught you this quartiles because In measures of variation, we have to study quartile deviation, and quartile deviation is very simple. It is the difference of the third and first quartile divided by 2, and therefore it is also called semi-interquartile range. Q3 minus Q1 is the interquartile range, and we have divided it by 2, means half, that is semi-interquartile range. So thank you very much for this class, and in next class I will discuss the computation of mode. And